Welcome to Let's Get Real with Tina, Bill.
Hey guys, welcome back. This is Let's Get Real, and I'm Tina Bill. I'm so glad you decided to join me today. We are going to be talking about taking your eyes off of Jesus. Don't do that. Please don't do that. You will have some problems, I promise you. When your problems get bigger, your praise and your cries unto the Lord should get louder. So don't take your eyes off of Jesus. Sometimes God gives us a test or allows us to go through tests, not in hopes that we fail or struggle, but it is during the testing oftentimes that we are able to find out who we really are, what we're made of, or what we have to offer. It could also show us possibly what we need to work on. God will lovingly point out areas that we may need to grow in order to be more sensitive to Him, or maybe it is to be a better person or develop better character. Maybe we need to learn to give, or maybe we need to learn to slow down and think of others. Maybe we need to actually speed up and quit being so slothful or lazy. Whatever it may be, don't despise the little test the Lord may put before you in your daily life. I also want to encourage you, don't be so afraid to fail that you don't even try. I want to give you a very simple and one of many examples in my life. So, our home had some foundational issues, therefore it needed to be lifted. My normally very manicured flower beds were intentionally neglected because I knew the guys were just going to pretty much destroy them anyway during the process of lifting the house. And boy, was that a process. We had 9 piers put in. Anyway, back to the flower beds. For my flower beds to look a mess is a tough one for me. I'm particular about how my flower beds and landscape look. So after the repairs were made, the guys did a fantastic job of returning things as normal as possible. It was a big project, but the overgrown, very unmanicured flower beds were at a point where I felt like I could not stand even the thought of getting out there and starting because I knew it was going to be a lot of work. So, the day that I had set aside to do this task turned out to be the hottest day of the year thus far. And when I gathered all my gardening tools and began to kneel down to pull the weeds and remove overgrown creeping phlox, I realized they were very happy in the soil. They did not want to turn loose. They had dug their little roots down deep and was holding on tight. I said to myself, oh my goodness, this is going to be a booger. And I almost got a little teary-eyed and packed up my stuff and said, forget it. But I reminded myself, as I often do, Tina, one handful at a time. Even if you get a quarter of it done today, you've been successful. Don't give up. You can do this. Don't see the job as a whole. Just see it as a little at a time. So I gathered my thoughts and began to tug away. And for most of you who follow my podcast, you know my testimony. I have struggled with issues with my body, and my back is something that God has healed me in certain areas where I could not almost walk at times. I exercise, and I do that for strength, and I stretch, and I do cardio to help my body to stay strong and that sort of thing. So, oftentimes there can be certain little challenges. But to my amazement, little by little, steadily making progress, I had finished half and was thrilled and happy with the results. I took a break and admired my progress this far. After a few minutes, I kicked it into gear and began working on the other half. It was definitely hot. I was sweating profusely. I would be lying if I said I was comfortable on my hands and knees in the hard soil. But I was accomplishing my goal, and it felt amazing. I could have given up and said, forget it, I'm going to hire someone to do it. But I told myself, the turtle always wins the race. And really, it didn't take me very long. I mean, probably a few hours in the hot sun, but it was well worth it. I sat back in my lawn chair under the shade tree and drank my Gatorade and water, and I definitely admired my job. So, I want to encourage you to not give up. Whatever obstacle or test is thrown at you, set your mind and remember, steady and slow, a little bit at a time wins the race. Stay focused on Jesus and know you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. I have beautiful flower beds and landscaping now, and I feel so thankful that I did not give up. You have got this. So remember, guys, I love you, and until next time.